This drama contains adult language and partial nudity. Viewer discretion is advised.
You're listening to the Drunk Sports Podcast. Talking sports, current events, guy stuff, everything in between. Now, crack open a cold one, drink along with all of us, because here they are.
You can buy me a drink.
We're all drunk.
Hello, and welcome, drunk dudes and dolls and drunk sports pod turds, to a Monday edition of the Drunk Sports Podcast, live from the DSP Media Studios in sunny nighttime North Dallas.
What?
I don't know. I got nothing.
Okay.
I'm IndyCar Timm, joined by the magical and mystical Colby, Timm, and Sapp. Hello, Colby.
Hey, how's it going? Good God Almighty. Boy, was that exciting weekend, huh?
A little bit.
That's good times. MJF won the AEW. Did anything else happen?
I don't know what that was. Did Mary Lou Retton get another 10 over the weekend?
Was she ever a 10?
No. Did she get a 10? Like 1984?
Oh, the year Transformers.
Man, I'm old.
Now, I remember seeing her at some point.
My penis.
Don't think that's what happened.
Was it Colby in first grade?
No. Just running around. Mary Lou Retton. All right. She can get some penis.
She was 1984 cute.
Okay.
I mean, I was probably already taller than her. I was only 13, but
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't have kicked her out of bed at 13.
Do you think maybe some like professional horse racers just run around the Olympic gymnast area just looking for somebody else to ride their horse?
Somebody to look up to.
Mm-hmm. Maybe the jockeys are running around going, man, I'm glad I'm taller than that person.
Are they, though?
I'm just saying.
I mean, there's some F1 drivers that are pretty short, too.
Yeah.
And IndyCar drivers.
Right. F1, F them both.
F them all.
Yeah.
We got a great show for everybody tonight. We're going to, of course, recap the great Vikings loss. I almost said the great Vikings win. The Cowboys, God, what a dismantling that was.
Yes.
Completely unexpected by me, but Colby says he called it.
Of course I did. That was 3:00 Kirk Cousins.
Man, he's so bad.
It's just not, no. And they were trying to prove a point. That's almost exactly what I thought was going to happen.
So bad.
Was the Vikings were going to come out there and not do anything that could win them the game.
I mean, not even close.
No. They're like, no, we're going to play our game. We're going to do this.
We're going to go over our celebrity birthdays and the good, the bad, and the ugly. We will touch around the NFL, talk a little bit about the NFC East right now and the NFC playoff picture as it stands today. You might be surprised where a couple of teams are standing right now. And then in the second hour after the break, I will give you my much anticipated Highlander review, Colby.
Yes.
As I watched Highlander in its entirety, and I made notes.
Ooh.
I made notes, and I have some thoughts. And then usually we do stuff like this when a guy dies. I wanted to do this before the guy dies, but he'll probably outlive all of us, and he's 70. Got a little tribute to former NFL referee Ed Hochuli here.
Oh, Ed Hercules.
Ed Hercules. It's a little video tribute I found online. I didn't do it. I'll be honest. I didn't put it together, but dude, it's freaking hysterical, and I love it. And then, unless you've got something better for the middle segment in the 8:00 hour.
Oh, my bag's empty.
We're going to do some Would You Rather. We haven't done that in a while. And then, of course, we'll finish the show with Colby's world-famous news and notes of the weird and strange as he finds on the internet, usually originating from America's Wang.
Right.
Florida.
Actually, we have a few stories from America's Wang. So,
as we often do.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought, Colby, let's go ahead and get the obligatory sports segment out of the way, if we could. And now it's time for Around the Cowboys, where we discuss America's team and all of their mediocre NFC East opponents. Brought to you by the Drunk Sports Podcast. Can't really say that anymore, huh? BetUS. Probably need to change that.
The NFC East is not mediocre.
No. Maybe the best division in football right now?
At least the best NFC, right?
Oh, easy, yeah. It has to be. Even though the Giants are going to skid. think the Eagles are going to skid. But we'll get into that when we go around the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go around the Cowboys a little bit, Colby, as the Dallas Cowboys, of course, defeat the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota at 3:20. Started at 3:25, which is why you called for a big Cowboys win. Because what's Kirk Cousins' MO?
If it's a noon game, you're going to get good Cousins. If it's a 3 o'clock or later game, you are going to get Kirk.
Kissing Cousins.
Yeah, that's that dude. Man, it's you know with him that if anybody's around his feet, anybody's around him at all that's not wearing his uniform, he's not going to have a good day.
He did not have a good day, Colby.
No, he got sacked 10 times?
7 times for 49 yards.
That was just, and it was like the second or third play. You're already in Kirk Cousins' head.
12 of 23 for 105 yards. He only averaged 4.6 yards per completion. That's not a good day for a quarterback. A QBR of 14.9 and a quarterback rating of 64.6.
Imagine if Diggs actually comes up with that miraculous interception there late. That makes it worse.
Mm-hmm. It would have been much worse.
Makes it worse. The other thing that I was kind of banking on was that the Minnesota Vikings weren't going to do what everybody expected them to do, which is just run and run and run and run and run the football. For some reason, I just thought in my head that, look, they're going to think we've got Jefferson, we've got hooked on a feeling. We've got these guys ready to rock and roll. We're going to show you that we are the Minnesota Vikings in prime time. Let's show everybody what we've got. And they immediately ran out there and dropped their pants and showed the Cowboys all their soft spots.
Yep.
So that was amazing. Now some of this has come off of the idea that the Dallas Cowboys all got together and started also trying to figure out a little bit more about this defense as trying to stop the run from what happened in Green Bay, because you can't go into the playoffs and not be able to stop anybody. So, your DC and all your boys get together and they're like, let's hold each other accountable.
Oops.
I have no idea where that was from, but
it's gone now.
Well, that's amazing. Almost lost my train of thought as I had. Oh, you did notice on especially that first play and all throughout the game that your cover corners, your defensive backs had a great game.
Yep.
And some of those caused some of those sacks to happen.
Sure.
Is your coverage. And it had to do with Trayvon Diggs following around Justin Jefferson and the ability of your defensive backs to adjust to assignments for wherever Diggs goes. And man,
Justin Jefferson, 3 catches on 5 targets for 33 yards with a long of 15.
And I believe only one of those catches was actually on Diggs. But
I think you're right.
So
Adam Thielen didn't have a target in the first half. A target in the first half. Ends up with 2 catches for 25 yards.
That was gross. That was one of those games where, I mean, after midway through the second quarter, I was like, you know what? This is about the time that I usually feel like this is where things start, to head the other direction because everything's going too well. It's going too good. Somebody's going to figure something out, and the Vikings have been down like this before.
Yep.
That they'll make this a game later. But man, after that, I think it was the pass to CD that Dak just hit on a line. That was basically the replay of Aaron Rodgers versus us in the playoffs.
Right.
And CD just catches it and just lays down out of bounds. And it was like, and then the kicking of the field. I was like, whoa. And you kicked it twice.
How crazy was that? Dude, you know what? I didn't think he'd miss it. There was no doubt in my mind he was going to make that second kick.
Because he already saw the first one go through?
Barely go through, by the way, the first kick.
Right.
It kind of had to hook back around. But, dude, that second one was dead center.
I mean,
Great. Is Brett Maher the team MVP this year?
he is. This is so much better than worrying about if Legatron is going to go out there and shank one into the crowd.
By the way, I watched some college football this weekend, and college kickers are bad, dude. They're so bad.
Well, okay, yes, they are. The college kickers are bad, except for the one kicker that Texas had for a little bit. And
Dicker the kicker?
Dicker the kicker.
He's on an NFL roster somewhere.
He is playing with your nope.
Chargers?
Los Angeles Chargers.
Right.
I wanted to say San Diego so bad.
Close enough.
So I said it anyway.
The Minnesota leading receiver, Colby, was their tight end, TJ Hawkinson, the former Detroit Lion that they acquired at the trade deadline. 5 catches, 34 yards.
That's not good.
Your leading rusher?
Well, that actually, I mean, if you looked at that on a board and
11 carries, 72 yards is an average of 6.5 yards a carry.
that's really good.
They'll take that all day long. Problem is, he only had 11 carries and was not involved in the game in the receiving. He was 0 for 0 with 1 target.
Yeah, because for the most part, when he was there, he had to stay back there and try and do something.
Try to block?
Yeah, because there's no running him out anywhere. He's trying to chip because once the rookie tackle was out there, oh God, it was.
Yeah, I forgot the name of their lineman that went down, their left tackle that went down. But after that, dude, it was a whole different game.
Right.
I mean, they had no chance.
Well, no, it was the same game. It was just worse. It was just like somebody's like, you know what, this is pretty good. It's about an 8 right now. All right, never mind. It's an 11. We've turned the volume up on this bitch.
All the way up. 10 it to 11.
So, but
Man, and Micah Parsons didn't want to come out of the game at the end of the game. They're trying to hold him out. Say, look, we're just going to rest everybody. He's like, no, I want another sack.
Yes.
I can get 3 more in the last 3 minutes of the game.
You see how easy this is? He's wanting, well, that's also, does that go back to him saying he wanted the sack record this year?
Yeah.
And, you know, a guy like that gets hell bent on something. He's like, I don't want to sit down.
So Parsons had 2, Armstrong had 2, Curse had 1, Dante Fowler had 1, DeMarcus Lawrence had 1, for a total of 7.
By the way, Fowler, when he tackled Kirk Cousins by jumping on his face,
so great.
It literally looked like one of those from Aliens, a face hugger just jumped out of somewhere and just said, "Hiya!" Because he was just on his head. I'm like, wow. At some point, I was understanding the reason why Kirk Cousins, when he would go to throw the ball, just looked like he was just in self-defense trying to, I don't have any more.
It's gone.
It's not mine.
And you know what? Parsons would have had another one had he not let go of Cousins because he thought he threw the ball. Did you see that play?
I did.
He had him wrapped up, and then he let go because he didn't know he had the ball still.
Right.
And then he threw the ball, and Parsons was like, I mean, he was pissed.
Of course he was pissed. But did you see the amount of oomph that Kirk Cousins put into that damn pump fake?
Get me out of here.
I mean, that's got to be something for Kirk, because I don't know many quarterbacks that can throw that kind of a fake pass and hold onto it with one hand. Jeez. He should have spiked that into the ground. They should have stopped the clock right then.
Throw that ball to the Hall of Fame.
Right.
So, yeah, Minnesota, 183 total yards, and they were under 100 for most of the game until like the last couple of drives.
Right.
When Mullins came in and then Dallas just didn't care anymore. They just wanted to keep him off the board.
Yeah, they didn't really. Well, until Mullins got out there, they had 3 first downs in like the second half.
Right. Yep.
Good God.
Dallas, third down efficiency, 12 of 17, which you like to see. Minnesota, 1 for 11.
Which you actually like to see as a Dallas Cowboys fan.
You like to see from the defense for sure. Cowboys ran 70 plays to just 54, which of course leads to your time of possession. Cowboys 37 minutes, Minnesota just 22 minutes.
And if
Minnesota couldn't sustain a drive.
No, they couldn't. And if Pollard would have just, like slowed down a little bit, probably had more plays. He just kept running them to the house.
How good was that to see?
How good was that pass?
Dude, right on the money.
Oh,
which leads me into our next topic point here. Classic Dak returned. The Dak that we saw first half of last season before the calf injury, the Dak we saw in the Bears game, the Dak that I said we all needed to see the rest of the season, where he's confident, he's got protection, he's not panicking, and dude, he is accurate. Most importantly, he's accurate. He hit his first 12 passes?
Right.
He only had 3 incompletions the whole game.
Correct.
And the first incompletion was that pass to Schultz in the end zone,
which was a damn good
I
pass.
shouldn't have thrown it though.
It was, well, I mean, when you're feeling that good,
I know, but you can't expect Schultz to catch that.
yes, I can.
I don't.
It hit him in the hand.
By the way, I don't think he'll be here next year.
No.
As much as I liked him, I just not really serving a purpose anymore when you got freaking Hendershot and who's the Ferguson, the other guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's sort of, especially the money he's going to demand.
He's not getting it here.
No, he's gone. He won't be here again. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm more curious to see what they do with Elliott and with Pollard.
Pollard's going to be franchise tagged.
Think $10 million a year?
Yeah. And I think that they'll do the same thing with Tank, what they did with Tank. And
Right.
Tank's like, I'll take less. And they just work it like that, just with Zeke. Because Zeke doesn't want to go anywhere
I don't
else.
think they want to pay anybody a running back $10 million a year, though.
For 1 year to get more, 1 year of Pollard? Yes. Basically, what you'll be doing is, because it'll be $10 to $12 million. And right now you're paying that tight end $12 million. You let him go and you keep Pollard for that amount. So that's an even Steven scheme.
And you let Zeke go?
No, he comes back for cheap.
Dude, he's not going to come back if we're paying Pollard $10 million and he's only making $2 million. There's no way he plays like that.
Where you think he's going?
Anywhere but Dallas. I don't think they're going to offer him anything. I don't think they're going to offer Pollard anything.
No, they're not. They're just going to offer him the franchise
they'll
tag.
tag him. I mean, I'd probably be okay with that.
Probably.
Just a lot of money for a running back.
It is, but you got to remember, this will be Jerry coming off the Super Bowl, Jerry.
Well, you know what? If they're coming off of a Super Bowl win, I don't give a fuck what they do.
No, I don't either.
I don't care. Keep Zeke. Pay Zeke $20 million. I mean, you're already going to owe OBJ another $20 million a year for the next 2 years.
Right.
Who cares?
I don't
break
care.
the bank. I don't care if you win a Super Bowl this year. I don't give a flip what they do.
Oh, I don't know if they're winning it, but I'm saying they're going.
Ooh, who's going to beat them?
Oh man, it's going to be tough to beat.
They'll beat Kansas City.
Patty Mahomes.
Oh, they'll beat Kansas City. I'm not scared of Kansas City. They've shown so much weakness this year.
I'm
more afraid of Buffalo or Miami than I am Kansas City.
I'm not afraid of Buffalo. Really not.
So that's how I feel about the Chiefs.
It's Patrick Mahomes. And it's okay. We can get through this. I've got 3 teams that I'm like, no, just not them. Of course, Pat Mahomes, just because.
Did you watch that last night?
Just even without any weapons, they're still like, you know what? And of course,
I don't know. Kelsey's a weapon. I can't stand him. I want to punch him in the face, but he's a weapon.
I want to go hang out with a dude.
God, not me. I want to kick him in the nuts.
And
I can't stand his face.
Let's go. Let's just go party. Turn the techno up. Somebody hand me a pacifier. Yes, I would like whatever drugs you have in your pocket. Let's go.
Yeah, I won't even ask what they are.
I won't either. But it's them, and it's a little bit. No, I'm not going to say the Bills. It's Lamar Jackson if he does anything and gets there, because good God Almighty, a running quarterback scares, especially with that kind of skill. Kind of scares the bejesus out.
Oh, dude, Baltimore's not even on my radar.
And then if Tom Brady makes the playoffs,
that's got to worry you, right?
Just does.
Just because it's Brady. Well, just like even though Aaron Rodgers is on a terrible team and he's playing horribly this year, you're still afraid of him when he plays the Cowboys because he owns them.
Right. Even though he went to the sidelines during that game and immediately said, hey, run the football.
Yeah, right.
When does that come out of Aaron Rodgers' mouth?
Never.
Did then.
Got him the W.
But good. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys look really, really, really good. I know after the Thanksgiving game, that, whatever happens in that could quickly change our opinion,
Right.
because there were so many people jumping off the bandwagon after the Green Bay game. And so you might be sitting there going, oh, okay, cool. This is awesome. This is great. But I've seen a lot of people, and this is how you should feel, is just waiting for that other shoe to drop. What's going to go wrong for the Dallas Cowboys?
And I've said it all year. I'll say it again. If Dallas is going to be successful this season and make a deep playoff run, it's going to have to be on the shoulders of Dak. He's got to play like he played on Sunday. He's got to play like he played against the Bears.
He actually didn't have a bad game against Green Bay, except for those 2 picks that I still say weren't his fault.
He just looked uncertain. He looked nervous. He looked confused at times against Green Bay.
Yeah, when people aren't running the right routes, you will look confused too.
That's your number one receiver, by the way, sir.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot better.
I agree. I even tweeted that out, didn't I?
I saw that with the most backhanded Timmy compliment that could ever happen. He's like, oh, wow.
All I said was that he's playing better and he needs to sustain this, but I don't think he can.
Yes.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, I don't think he can.
I don't think he can.
Well, you know what? He will, because
I hope so.
He'll have some of that alleviated off of him when other BJ shows up.
He needs to play like he did on Sunday, and then he needs to change his jersey number, and all will be right in Cowboys land.
Why does he have to change his?
He doesn't deserve 88. And he looks weird in 88. Like the 88 doesn't even look good on him with his little slender girl waist.
88 looks great on him.
Looks gross. By the way, we saw him real quick before we get into birthdays. We saw CD Lamb at Shuck and Jive. Me and Johnny and Rick, the sign guy, Ackberger.
Oh, yeah?
And our buddy Doo-Doo. Yeah, that's his name.
What?
His name's Doo-Doo. Because he crapped himself one time when he got drunk. Saw him at Shuck and Jive. Well, like with a big group, a bit like a company party was there, and he was with one of the girls that was there.
Right.
I didn't recognize. Like I knew. I'm like, I know that guy from somewhere. Dude, he does not look like a football player. He is just skinny as a rail, but like almost like a swimmer's body, that's just thin and lean and a little bit of definition, because he had like a tank top on.
Right.
And I'm like,
looks like he's made of steel cake.
Yeah, but dude, he does not look like your prototypical and he's like 6'3" or something. I mean, he's pretty tall. Only reason I figured out who it was because of the colored dreadlocks in his hair. I'm like, that's what brought it back to my memory was, oh yeah, that's CD Lamb. I wanted to go over and say, hey, when you start playing good, I'm going to ask you for your autograph.
You're stupid.
I think this was the off season anyway. They weren't playing yet. Anyway,
you're stupid.
Cowboys dominate.
Mm-hmm.
7-3.
Man, it's exciting.
We'll get into the NFC East picture here after birthdays, which let's go and do that now.
All right.
Maybe.
Welcome in. This is the segment where we call it the good, bad, and the ugly. And what's going on is I go through all the people that were birthed today and find the famous ones. And then we decide out of the list who is the good person, who is the bad person, and who is, well, just the ugly person. So I'm going to give you the list. Feel free to play at home.
Yeah, if you've got your own list or your own nominee, feel free to send it in. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, send it in on the comments there, and we'll see it, and we'll put you on the screen.
Maybe you got a secret favorite person out of these people, and you're just going to automatically vote for them to be the good. Cool. Or you just hate somebody, and you're like, no, they're the bad. Or that person's ugly.
That's what I do.
So we'll start off with former Texas Rangers great, turning 41 years old today, one Hank Blaylock.
Oh, Hank, him and Kevin Minch had like the biggest heads in the major leagues.
Remember that time Hank Blaylock hit that home run in the All-Star game?
Yep.
I do too.
He was good.
He was. I was hoping he would be the second coming of Dean Palmer.
Man, I loved me some Dino.
Just for no apparent reason.
He wasn't that great.
It was just it seemed like when I was watching Dean Palmer, he'd hit a home run.
Yeah.
So
number 16, Colby.
No longer with us because, well, he's old. Stan Musial
Oh, Stan the man. When did he pass away?
I had it on my list.
No,
but
it's all right.
It's yeah.
I mean, I was never a huge Cardinals fan, but man, you got to respect Stan Musial.
I never got to see him play, so.
No, me neither, but I've watched enough stuff.
By the way, we did have a Facebook user say that Timm loves Travis Kelce. You know he does.
I wish these Facebook users wouldn't be anonymous. I wish they'd show their face. So next time I see him, I can kick him in the nuts or in the boob.
Or high five him for commenting on what's going on.
Invoking the name of Travis Kelce.
All right. 28 years old today. Obviously, he's better than Colt McCoy in Tim's eyes. It's one Cooper Rush.
It is Cooper's birthday.
It is Cooper's birthday. By the way, he shares a birthday with another Dallas Cowboy.
Uh-oh.
Or was.
Tony?
Turning 55 years old today, one Troy Aikman.
Oh, the other one.
That's right.
Troy's only 55?
He's only 55. Man, concussions will make you look older, huh?
Get real. Remember those commercials? Were you on Cowboys? Were the Cowboys on your radar like in 92, 93 seasons?
Yes.
When Troy signed his first big national endorsement deal with Starter Apparel, and their whole commercial campaign was get real, you know, kind of like Nike's was just do it. Theirs was get real, and they talk about whatever. You hear this voiceover, and it's pictures of Troy throwing the football at practice and in games and, you know, throwing his hands up in the air after throwing a touchdown and stuff. And then they finish their little overlay of the audio or whatever, and then it flashes to him, and he looks at the camera, and he goes, "Get real." I was like, there's Mr. Personality right there.
Man, come to find out, if you give him enough marijuana, he can be personable on the TV.
Be great on TV. Maybe Jimmy just didn't let him do enough weed or something. I don't know.
Either that or he wanted to make sure after he got doing all his press stuff before he went and hang out with Mark Stepnoski.
Mark 2-A. Oh, too soon. Too soon.
What are you doing? Turning 52 years old today, one Ken Griffey Jr.
The kid.
Tell
you what, the second sweetest, most smoothest baseball swing I've ever seen in my life.
So your number one's Will Clark?
No, he's probably number 3.
Okay.
Ted Williams, number 1, though. Weird that they're all left-handers, right?
No, it's not.
I mean, for some reason, the left-handed baseball swing is just prettier.
Well, it's because of the direction of going to first base. Once you finish your left-handed swing, your motion takes you towards first base. The right-hander has to clip their swing and then not follow the bat through to first.
It's just, man, and you're right. Will Clark had a pretty sweet swing too, for sure.
So if you got a smooth swing with a left hand, man, because if you were to turn Griffey around and have him bat right-handed, it'd be like, meh.
It looked like every other right-hander.
Every other one. But
I don't know. There's good-looking right-handed swings too, but none of them ever compare to a left-handed swing.
Nope. Jenna Malone turns 37 years old today. You might find her fine work as she was a part of that Sucker Punch crew, the Zack Snyder film.
Do I have to look up Jenna Malone?
You might want to. You're fond of the redheaded girl.
Oh, I am.
She's pretty cute.
Jenna Malone.
Ginger people do have souls, all right?
She's 37?
Yes.
No, I'm out.
You're out?
Yeah. Doesn't do anything for me.
You need to go watch the movie Sucker Punch then.
I don't know that I've ever heard of that. Is that another Highlander?
Wait.
None of these pictures show her as a redhead, by the way.
What?
Shows her bald lots of times.
Okay.
Oh, there's a redhead. It's short red hair though. No, I'm out. I've had better. I mean, she's not ugly.
You never even heard of the movie Sucker Punch? By the one Zack Snyder?
No, is it like a comic book movie?
No, kind of, yeah.
No,
kind of.
I don't remember ever hearing about it.
Wow. I mean, it's not at the rate that Highlander is, but it's pretty high up for me. The movie makes no sense whatsoever.
Always a good plot for a movie.
But the trip to get to the land of nonsense is a fun ass ride. You're supposed to be asking questions at the end of it, like, was this all or was this the? But at the end, I was just like, I'll watch it again just because the scenes were super cool. Turning 50 years old today, got his teeth designed from Madonna, Mike Strahan.
Okay. He's 50?
He is 50.
He's only 50?
He's only 50.
He's younger than me, Colby.
Yep.
All right. See, I really want to like Michael Strahan because he's extremely talented, right? As a host of literally whatever he wants to host.
Right.
Good Morning. He's on freaking Good Morning America. He's on the whatever the Regis and Kathy Lee show is now. He did that with whatever. And then he's doing, of course, NFL Fox on Sunday stuff. And he's really good, man. I can't look at him.
Why?
That gap in the teeth, I can't.
It just, you know what? It reminds me of the 8-bit look of Mike Tyson.
Very much so. Very much so.
And
he played for the Giants.
That's the only thing that kind of throws me off about him.
For me, clearly that's not normally an issue. I like a lot of ex-Giants. I love Lawrence Taylor. I love Eli Manning. Daniel Jones, I'm a big fan of. But, dude, I just can't with Michael Strahan.
No, Michael. He has won over my Giant hate.
And he probably could me too. I do recognize his talent for sure.
He's got it. Turning 76 years old today, one Goldie Hawn.
Oh, Colby. Do you know how many of Timm dreams she was the subject of in the early 80s?
You know what?
Back when she was making Protocol and Private Benjamin and all the Chevy Chase movies.
Right.
Dude, no, I still would.
76 years old.
Still would.
Just because you can walk in somewhere and go, banged it out with Goldie Hawn.
I'd do her daughter too.
Same time?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I've disappointed two people at the same time before. Just ask my parents.
Uh-huh. Bjork is 56.
Bjork! I thought that's how you... She's what?
She's 56.
Oh, I thought you said 76.
Yeah.
Bjork! I thought that's how you had to pronounce it.
No. But if I ever need somebody to, mimic a chicken call that's going to also make me laugh, it's that one.
Bjork!
By the way, mark that. We need that as a drop.
I'll send it to you so you can put it on your phone.
Sweet.
I mean, that's how it's spelled.
Turning, both of them, turning 38 years old today. It's one Bree and Nikki Bella, the Bella twins.
Bella, I think I'm going to say the Olsen twins.
No. These actually turned out to be super hot.
Bella twins.
Yes.
Oh.
They're
wrestling?
Yep. Now doing the reality TV show circuit or whatever.
Colby, how am I unaware of these girls?
I don't know. It's the Bella twins.
What the hell is going? Hang on. These are screen worthy. Hang on. I'm going to have to. Because I might have new favorite wrestlers.
That they are no longer wrestlers. They are a member of, at 38 years old, the WWE Hall of Fame already. So that's how much farther out.
Oh, they're in my Hall of Fame.
So
are they're not? So they're twins?
They are twins.
Why does one have such massive honkers and the other one doesn't?
One of them.
Oh, probably fake, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I would think if you're twins, you have to do it together or you don't do it at all.
No, maybe you're like, you can do that to separate each other. Maybe one of them is just proud of her normal tatas, and the other one's like, you know what?
She should be.
I got to tata my tata up.
Look at those abs. I want them to make me a ham sandwich, and I don't mean at the counter. I want to be the ham in their sandwich is what I'm trying to say. If that wasn't clear.
I think I think I got that.
All right. Bella Twins.
And
Bella Twins powers activate.
Right. Turn John Cena into a mindless ape.
Me too.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much. I know he was with one of the Bellas for a little bit. And finally, and I don't know why she ended up being finally, because it's not like my favorite person, Carly Rae Jepsen. She's 36.
Call me maybe.
I think so. Yeah.
Sweet. So my youngest child that I know exists, Parker. She's how old?
36.
Wow. Thought she'd be like 20. So when Parker was a little baby, riding around in the back seat, in the car seat, anytime that song would come on the radio, he'd start dancing in his car seat. And then when he was learning to talk, he could actually mouth the words to that song.
Wow.
He couldn't talk yet, but he could mouth the words. I have a video somewhere.
Huh.
Pretty freaking incredible. And that was he probably peaked right about then.
Right. That's
sadly, yeah.
Everything he's got.
Kind of an idiot now.
From then on out, it's just
at 12.
So, Tim, what you got for that good, bad, and ugly?
All right, Colby, for my good, bad, and the ugly this week, I would like to offer the good title to one Hank Blaylock.
Really?
Just over Stan the Man, because I've actually seen Hank play.
Wait, even though Griffey Jr. was in this mix.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, give me Hank over Griffey. I'm not saying he's a better baseball player. I'm just saying he's my good.
Okay. All right.
Was never a big fan of Griffey because he played in Seattle, an arch nemesis of the Rangers. My bad, I'm gonna have to go with Michael Strahan. Although I could have gone with Bjork. I just wanted to say that again. And then my ugly, I've got to go with Bjork.
Okay.
She's not attractive. And then I have a new category just for this week. Still want a bone? Goldie Hawn.
Okay.
Is that cheating?
I mean,
I'm not
no.
sure if that's cheating or not.
No. I mean, what we let other people do during this segment.
Oh my gosh, right.
So
here, let me rewrite your segment for you, Colby.
Right. So my good is, Super Bowls, man. Troy Aikman.
All right. Get real.
Just Super Bowls. I never thought that I would ever see the Dallas Cowboys ever lose again. Right?
Man, it sure felt like it back in the day, didn't it?
So because of that great feeling, Troy Aikman is my good. My bad is Carly Rae Jepsen. So,
call me maybe.
Just because of, I've often said that if you have absolutely no appreciable talent whatsoever and you make it to be famous, then I should respect
that.
You.
Is the Pete Davidson theory.
Right. But this was, I wish she hadn't used it for that.
So who has less talent that made it big? Carly Rae Jepsen or Meghan Trainor?
Oh, Carly Rae Jepsen.
You think?
Because Meghan Trainor was writing all those cool songs for everybody else.
Right.
And then nobody would sing that song. She's like, well, fuck it. I'll do it.
Right.
So.
I feel like that's happened to a lot of people that became famous singing.
Right.
That was a Richard Marx thing. That's how he made his first album, because he had songs nobody else would record. So he did it himself.
Yep. And my ugly is, Stan Musial.
How is he ugly? He's probably ugly now.
Right. I didn't have anybody else to pick. Who else is going to pick?
I know this one was hard for ugly. I was going to go either Michael Strahan or Carly Rae Jepsen, but this was a good list this week or today. Is this just today or are these this week?
This is just today.
Because we'll have another one on Wednesday. By the way, those of you wondering if we're going to preview the Giants, we'll do it Wednesday on Wednesday's show.
But we didn't even get to talk about this. I'm not sure I'm going to make Wednesday.
Oh, that's true. Oh, that's true. We may not have a show Wednesday. I may preview it in my own video on an episode of Cowboys Daily Blitz. So just look out for that here on the network. But yeah, it's the day before Thanksgiving. We don't know if we're going to do a show because I'm going to start eating early.
Yeah.
And Colby has to work.
Yeah, I've got a lot of work to do.
Colby has a real job.
Stupid job. Hurry up, Gerber. I mean, what?
I'm going to tell him you said that.
Uh-huh.
So then let's get into a little of this to close out the first
And now
hour.
it's time for those drunk sports boys to go around the NFL, breaking down the latest football news with a dash of daily drunk.
Colby, a big week for the NFC East as everybody won except the Giants. And you feel like the Giants got a little bit exposed against those Lions?
I think the Giants have been exposed all season. It's just whatever luck has happened, whatever, golden goose that they're rubbing back there on the sidelines to make it just happen just right. It's been happening.
You agree they're a better team, though, than in previous seasons?
I don't even think that.
Really?
I really
Brian
don't.
Daboll hadn't made any difference over Joe Judge.
Not really.
All right.
And the main reason is that if you give Judge this much Saquon Barkley as what Dayball's having, I think your offense runs a little bit better through what they were throwing out there the past couple of years.
I think the biggest difference Daboll has made is in working with Daniel Jones, though. I think he's made him an appreciably better quarterback than in previous seasons. Now, it didn't look like it against the Lions because he threw 2 picks. By the way, his first 2 picks since week 3.
Right.
But that's going to happen, baby steps. But I think Daniel Jones is a full level above where he has been in previous years as a quarterback.
See, and I don't see it. And even though I do see flashes of, hey, that kid might be all right.
Yeah.
I was seeing them, though, past seasons as well. He might be all right, might do good.
Right.
I think the difference in Daniel Jones this season, and I don't want to just take away from anything that people perceive that is Dayball's, push on to the team, but we see, and when people view quarterbacks, and take this back to the Cowboys, when the Cowboys' run game is doing great, man, Dak Prescott looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's catching passes, and he's able to scan the field, and he's able to really get into the offense and get into a flow without the first forced flow of a turbo or whatever.
Right.
And that's how quarterbacks look when they're on time and when they're able to, we just need 3 yards, we can run it. Or it's 2nd and 6, or it's 3rd and 3.
Right.
You keep having those, quarterbacks are going to look better. And because of that, the way the Giants are going, even though there's a lot of first halves that it don't look great for the Giants, they somehow find that, because what happens? Saquon Barkley ends up running or wearing down a defensive line, and they come through at the end. And so, because when you got W's next to your name, your quarterback all of a sudden looks that much better.
Right.
I don't think they're a better talented squad. I don't think they're a better anything. I don't think anybody's really moved up a scale for the Giants.
So what explains the record then?
What I just said, your running game that's able to then assert itself in the second half, because they're winning games by what? 3, 7 points. And it's because you have just a little bit more extra.
So would you like to hear their points for and points against on the season?
Yes.
Points for, 205. Points against, 204. So there you go.
Pretty close games.
Yeah. So there you go.
And you're able to slow it down, and you're able to. Bill Parcells made a whole season out of, we just want to keep the ball longer than they got it.
Yep.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah. So in the NFC East currently, we'll put it up on the screen for those of you watching. Here are your standings as of now.
Not a losing team in the bunch.
No, not at all. So Eagles at 9-1, Cowboys and Giants both at 7-3, and the Commanders a very surprising 6-5 after they started the season 1-4. Heineke power, baby.
That's right.
Always liked me some. I always thought that Taylor Heineke was kind of a poor man's Tony Romo.
You know what? I could see that. I think Heineke is that guy that is not real talented, but boy, you like him to be in your locker room.
The team loves him and the fans love him.
It's just, I'm going to lead. I'm going to do my damnedest and screw everybody else. Let's go. Us against the world.
How would you like to be Carson Wentz right now?
I mean, with his money, I'd like to be him with his money.
Would you like to be him walking into that locker room every day, walking into practice every day, and just sitting there for your $28 million you're making this year?
If I was me and I knew what was going on, I would be fine. But if I'm Carson Wentz and thought like Carson Wentz, I'd probably be the most upset person in the history of upset people.
Because he's not going to get another shot, right?
No, there's no reason to. You got Wally Pips. You got Dak Prescotted.
I mean, no other team is going to come calling. If he gets released at the end of the year, that's it, right? Like, no one's going to call him.
And not unless he's like, anybody need a backup.
A backup. Go to Chicago and be a backup, or New Orleans. Maybe New Orleans takes a shot at him. They need a quarterback.
I don't know. I
don't even see that.
I would rather have Jameis.
Yeah, I would.
Carson
And I
Wentz.
hate Jameis Winston, but I would rather have him than Carson Wentz.
So no.
Man, I mean, just we all knew that Dak was better, right? And that of course, they're in the same draft, along with wasn't Goff in that draft too? Goff went 1, didn't Wentz go 2?
Right.
Dak went in the 4th round, 135 overall. And everybody knew Dak was better in that whole first season, their rookie seasons, and they both got to play a lot. It was a big argument. It was a big deal. But, I mean, looking back now, is there any question? Even when Dak's off, he's better than Carson Wentz.
When there is when everything was rolling for Carson Wentz, you're like, all you could see was like the highlights of what was going on with that team when you didn't watch every single game by the Eagles.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, that guy's pretty good too. It didn't take long of watching more of that. You're like, wait, maybe not. Maybe that team was just pretty good.
So let's take a look at the NFC or the NFC playoff picture as it stands right now, Colby. And you've got almost every single NFC East team in it. Washington is the first team on the bubble. And I don't know why we'll get into that. So first of all, Eagles have your first round bye.
Right.
You just have one team with a first round bye now since they expanded the playoffs. So Eagles would have a first round bye at 9-1, first in the NFC East. You would have the 2 seed Vikings at 8-2 playing the 7 seed 49ers, who I guess they're playing that. So if they lose tonight, because they're playing Arizona, right?
Correct.
So if they lose tonight, that would put Washington in the number 7 seed. And you would have all 4 NFC East teams in the playoffs.
That'd be so amazing when
I'm cheering for that.
The Commanders just go out there and just obliterate the Vikings.
Dude, I would, with Taylor Heineke, I would take the Commanders over the Vikings. I think. Especially if it's a noon game or it's a 3:00 game.
Yeah, and if it's the noon game, count that out. No, Vikings are winning that in that.
So you will have the Vikings playing or hosting, actually, either the 49ers or the Commanders. You would have the Seahawks hosting the Giants. And I don't like this matchup, Colby. You would have the Buccaneers hosting the Cowboys.
Wow.
Buccaneers at 5-5, but also first in the NFC South. And the Cowboys would be a wild card team at 7-3 right now.
You know what? If we're going by right nows, I'll take that right now.
If they play tomorrow, yeah.
I'll take that right now. Now, if you give the Buccaneers a chance to somehow solidify and get better than what they are, then that's a different story.
But every one of those games, I'm in, man. I'm watching. I'm into.
Well, because it's football.
I know, but there's been playoff matchups that just don't interest me though in recent years. Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when Washington played Tampa Bay. I'm like, who's watching this? And Washington hosted.
Yeah, I was. And it was a great game.
Taylor Heineke almost beat Tom Brady in that game.
Yes.
But just looking at it, I'm like, I'm out. I don't even care.
I was so rooting for the Commanders.
Man, I know.
It's you know what? After they changed their name and there were no longer the Redskins, it's like I don't even have to worry about hating them anymore. How odd
you
is
just
that?
you just feel sorry for him.
It's like, oh, it's almost like somebody's kid brother. It's like, oh man,
Oh, how cute.
give Junior a chance.
And then over in the AFC, the Chiefs, as your number 1 seed at 8-2, have the bye.
Mm-hmm.
Your second seed, Miami Dolphins, would host the Cincinnati Bengals.
Go ahead, and because if everybody's healthy for both teams, that game's going to be 48-53.
The Dolphins win at home too. And then a team that has surprised the hell out of everybody this year and very quietly would be the number 3 seed in the AFC, Tennessee.
Yeah,
At 7-3.
but they got Tannehill.
Would host the Patriots.
Yeah, they're done.
Rematch of last week or last year.
Yeah, they're done.
And then in one of those games that I may not have any interest in whatsoever or give a flip about, the Ravens would host the Bills, the 4 and 5 seeds.
Oh, that would be an awesome game.
I just think the Bills would annihilate the Ravens.
No, they won't.
Ravens don't have a quarterback.
You're an idiot.
Give me Tannehill. I'd rather have Tannehill as my quarterback.
Over Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a complete idiot. You are
Not a fan of Lamar Jackson, man.
An utter idiot.
I just don't think he's that great.
If he were to move on from that team, you would find out that nobody else on that team is actually any good whatsoever. And the only reason why they ever win games and go to the playoffs is simply because of Lamar Jackson.
Right.
That's it. It's like those
He
old.
just needs to learn to throw the ball.
He can throw it just fine. Somebody needs to learn how to catch that MFer. He's Tony Romo. As far as
settle down.
As far as if you don't have Tony Romo and you have a lesser quarterback with those Cowboys teams, we don't have to worry about Jason Garrett being here so damn long.
And by the way, do we realize how close we are to my preseason prediction coming true of both Super Bowl teams missing the playoffs? Like, it's going to happen for the Rams. They're not making the playoffs.
No, they're done.
They're 15 out of 16 in the NFC. I'm sorry, 14 out of 16 at 3-7, last place in the South. And the Bengals are at 6-4. And I don't know why they have the edge over the 6-4 Jets unless they have the head-to-head. I don't know if they played each other or not. I'd have to look. So they're very close to missing the playoffs too. By the way, the on the bubble team for the AFC, your Jets at 8 and Chargers at 9. If the Chargers miss the playoffs, please tell me that Brandon Staley's like fired immediately.
I mean, probably
opening the door for one Sean Payton to take over the club.
I mean, probably. And if Sean Payton comes over there, then maybe Herbert will have a brain along with his rocket arm. And that might actually turn him into something.
Man, he has looked terrible this year. He's not having a good year with Staley as his coach.
Well, I mean,
you're not a fan of his anyway, right?
I'm not. I still say he's Jeff George. I still say
that's a terrible thing to wish on someone.
No, he's got a cannon for an arm. He can literally be standing flat-footed at the 1 yard line and hit the end zone with the football.
Yeah, I think they showed him throwing a ball 80 yards in the air flat-footed a couple weeks ago, like in a pregame.
Monster arm.
I could do that, right?
No.
No, you're probably right.
No, not with one of those Russell Wilson flutter balls or whatever.
My arm would go with the ball. Is
Yes.
it like flung out of its socket?
Weigh it down and cause it to go 7.5 yards.
My arm would be in a better spiral than the football.
Right.
Wow. All right.
I just don't like the way he plays quarterback.
See, that's how I feel about Lamar Jackson. Like, I know he's got the legs and he can run. I just don't like the way he plays the position. I don't think he knows how to play the position. I feel the same way about Justin Fields. I know he's had a couple of good weeks. Everybody in Chicago is ecstatic because now they think he's the savior they thought he was.
I think he is.
But let's just give it some time and see.
Well, I mean, I'm going with what's happening right now. You're banking on the future of him not progressing any.
Right.
I think he will.
Or even regressing.
I also think that maybe because of the way that Lamar Jackson's arm angle is when he throws a football, you somehow think that makes he doesn't know how to throw a football.
I don't know if I've paid attention to that.
I think it's caused because a lot of the guys.
He doesn't have a pretty throwing motion.
He doesn't, because it's quick and he's got a long arm, but he's doing it in order not to look like Byron Leftwich out there because of that arm.
Terrible.
And have the slow delivery. So he's trying to speed up his delivery. So it's almost a side, like the nose of the football is pointed at his ear, and then he whips it. And so, and it gets there.
Just ugly.
I think you're wrong.
Well, I've been known to be wrong. All of my ex-wives will tell you that.
And
a lot of my ex-girlfriends will tell you that. It is what it is. We are the Drunk Sports Podcast. Colby, you want to take us to break?
Sure. Coming up next, we've got Timm's Highlander review. Also, his sudden love for Ed Hochuli and why he misses him. Oh, Timm's got a Would You Rather, and I've got news and notes where we travel to Florida and look at people doing stupid shit. That's all coming up on the Drunk Sports Podcast.
Substantial penalty for early withdrawal.
The Drunk Sports Podcast.
Kroger knows this year the holidays are doubly important, so make your celebrations doubly special with fresh, never frozen prime-grade beef and Simple Truth organic Brussels sprouts. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Double specialness, void where prohibited. Certain restrictions. Wait, stop illegal. We've got even more special holiday food. It's like delicious king crab legs with private selection gourmet potatoes or cave-aged Murray's cheese and fresh baked La Brea bread. Kroger, fresh for everyone. All right, legal. You're up. Double specialness, void where prohibited. Certain restrictions may apply. Shop at participating stores for more details.
You know a spot, but not just a spot, the spot. Actually, with the all-new Nissan Frontier, you know a bunch of them. But the key to these great spots? Being able to reach them in the first place. Your spot is out there. Find your Frontier in the all-new 2022 Nissan Frontier with standard 310 horsepower, advanced tech, and 281 pound-foot of torque.
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season with 20 to 65% off furniture and mattresses during our after Christmas sale. Relax on the new Rachel Ray Chelsea Queen bed, now $579. And get comfy with the whole fam on the Radley 5-piece sectional, $1,999. Plus get a free adjustable base or box spring with a qualifying mattress purchase of $599 or more. Now at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
So it's the holiday season and we're headed into the new year and we need to have some fun. I got you covered. Best Fiends is the perfect pick-me-up when you need a break from the holiday action or you want to just have some fun. With Best Fiends, you get unique gameplay. Best Fiends has it all. It's an amazing storyline, collectible fiends, and tons of puzzles. It's quite possibly the best puzzle game out there. No Wi-Fi, no problem. You play Best Fiends wherever and whenever you want with the offline mode. So if ever your holiday travels take you off the beaten path, you can still play Best Fiends. It's always challenging. The game is literally thousands of levels with more added all the time. So there's always a fresh challenge waiting for you when you need a mental pick-me-up. And I am all for games that you can play online and offline, because you can take them anywhere. You can download Best Fiends free today at the App Store or Google Play. That's Best Fiends. It's basically friends without the R. Best Fiends.
Attention business owners. Frontier Fiber for Business has 30 times faster upload speeds than cable.
Wow, that could make my day-to-day 30 times smoother.
Yep.
Give me 30 times fewer headaches due to slow, spotty internet.
Definitely.
And leave me 30 times freer to crush the competition.
Crush away, friend. Do what cable can't with 30 times faster upload speeds. Get our 300 meg fiber internet for just $49.99 per month. Now with over $800 in free benefits like a digital phone line and device security. Visit fiberopticbusiness.com for complete offer details. Limited time offer. Services subject to availability and all applicable terms and conditions.
Shop Mattress Firm's year-end sale and put an end to junk sleep. Save up to $500 when you get a king bed for the price of a queen or queen for a twin. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying Sealy purchase up to a $4.99 value. Or shop top-selling brands and get up to 50% off select mattresses, like Sealy twin mattresses starting at $224.99 or Serta twin mattresses at $349.99. And shop with confidence thanks to our low price guarantee. Only at Mattress Firm. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
The Big Finish sales event is on at Denton Dodge. Save over $5,000 off MSRP on a new 2021 Dodge Durango. And every vehicle is backed by our true transparency pricing. Relax and enjoy the difference. Visit us at 4984 South, I-35 East, and online at DentonDodge.com. Stock number MC 815215. MSRP $56,482. Includes $1,000 bonus cash, $1,450 national retail consumer cash, $750 Chrysler cash, and $2,292 dealer discount. Tax, title, and license fees excluded. At approved credit expires 1/3/2022.
Nerds! Dreaming of a change of pace? Let NerdWallet help you compare your way from here to there. Compare investing accounts to expand your portfolio and your horizons. Then, use NerdWallet to compare mortgage rates for a home with peace and quiet built in. Compare your way there. Find the smartest financial products for you on NerdWallet. NerdWallet Compare Inc. NMLS 1617539. NerdWallet is not an investment advisor nor an investment broker. Information is for educational purposes only.
With bills to pay and debt piling up, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Personal loans through NetCredit can provide funding up to $10,000 to help you get back on track financially if eligible. Our secure application process allows you to customize the terms that work for you and your budget. So check your eligibility today without affecting your credit score and help get your finances back on track. NetCredit, a more personal loan. All NetCredit loans and lines of credit are offered by a member of the NetCredit family of companies or one of our lending partners. Visit netcredit.com/partners for more information.
Care has the power to bring kindness where it's needed. It brings out the best in every one of us. It doesn't just see people. It takes time to understand them. It puts the needs of others ahead of its own. And when you start with care, you end up with a very different kind of bank. Truist. Truist Bank, member FDIC.
Cover Story, a new investigative podcast by New York Magazine that's got a lot of people on edge.
What is the number one rule? We would all go, don't your clients.
It's a gnarly personal look at the underground psychedelic therapy world and its boundary problems.
All my clients try to have sex with me during these sessions. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to try to have sex with you. And he's like, yeah, you will.
Cover Story, Season 1. Power Trip. Check it out on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen.
It's a really good show.
If you're
by the way.
watching football with your friends, you need two things: a TV and some Tostitos.
And a
End
hooker.
of list. No get-together is official until some Tostitos, the official chip and dip of the NFL, get served. Maybe you're hosting the game. Maybe you need something to snack on while listening to us. Doesn't matter the occasion. If I was a betting man, which I am, I would say the odds are that you have a bag of Tostitos and some salsa in your kitchen right this second. Plus, they've got a flavor for everyone. Hint of lime for folks who love a bit of zest. Habanero if you're kicking things up a notch. Hint of guacamole to make your guacamole taste even guacier. Fans can get in the game with a custom recipe for their favorite team at Tostitos.com/recipes. Tostitos, the official chip and dip of the NFL.
Welcome back to the Drunk Sports Podcast, live from the DSP Media Studios in kind of overcast, cold, and very dark right now, North Dallas.
Right.
You know, and I left my house on a motorcycle to come down here today. It was sunny. It was like 54, you know, so I kind of layered up a little bit because I knew it'd be cold riding down here or riding home tonight. And, dude, by the time I got to like 121 in the tollway headed south, dude, it turned to winter again. Like it was overcast, it was drizzling a little bit, and it was just freaking cold.
No, I keep waiting on it to warm up just a tad bit more, and I'll start jumping on my bike. But man,
it's cold, man.
It's not worth it.
I got thermal socks on. I got my long johns on under my ripped jeans. I've got this long sleeve shirt, and then I put when I go on the bike, I'll put on my extra thick hoodie. It's a single layer hoodie pullover, but it's not like your normal Walmart hoodie. It's a 9-line hoodie, and it's thick,
right?
And then my riding jacket, which is a heavy jacket, and then of course my helmet to block the wind off my face, or I wouldn't even have that bitch on. But dude, it's freaking cold.
Well, you should always wear your brain bucket.
Yes, you should always wear the helmet, kids.
Even though Tim doesn't.
I do sometimes.
If you see motorcycle Tim riding down the tollway, more than likely you're also going to see a beard flapping in the wind.
Yeah, it hurts too. I'll tell you that. Like I've got to tie it up usually, you know, when I ride down the tollway like that, like with a scrunchie or whatever the chicks call them. Because otherwise, dude, it'll go up to like here, you know, almost to my eye.
Right.
And it hurts, man. It's like little pellets of rain hitting you on the face. It's freaking hurts.
By the way, if you would like to be a motorcycle rider, I still have one for sale.
That's true. You do.
DM me or something.
Was it a Yamaha?
Yamaha
Roadmaster?
It's a Royal Star.
Royal Star.
Yes.
All right. I've seen it. It's pretty nice. You guys check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Give Colby jump into Colby's DMs.
Right. And ask me about my motorcycle.
Or anything else you want to ask him about, you know. He's kind of an open book.
I mean, if you ask a question, I'll tell you an answer.
I'll give you an answer, all right.
You may not want it, but I'll let you know.
And maybe a finger to go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Colby, you gave me some homework.
I did.
When you realized that I had never seen it, never heard of the movie Highlander.
It was a, you know, there's been a long litany of things that have happened where you've said words that have come out of your mouth. And I thought this is the most disappointed I could ever be in Timm.
But I continue to up it.
Yeah, but you continue to show me, nope, that's not it. Found a new one. And this is now the new one. Or was, because apparently you fixed it.
I did. So you texted me. I was trying to figure out how to watch it. I mean, I hadn't really looked at it that much. It was pretty early in the week. I was like, it was Friday, I think, or something.
Right.
And he texted me, said, hey, it's on HBO Max. And I'm like, oh, I have HBO Max. So a couple hours later, there's me with a plate of homemade spaghetti sitting on the end of the bed, tuning into some Highlander. I even invited the boys in. Hey, you all want to watch Highlander with me? And they even knew what it was.
Of course they did.
My 14-year-old's like, no, because it's better if there's only one. Which I wanted to give him a rim shot, but, you know.
Right.
I was like, how do you know about this movie? He's like, Dad, everybody knows about Highlander. I'm like, come on. Now, my 12-year-old had never heard of it, but I think he was going along with his older brothers. Like, yeah, Dad, you're dumb, you know.
Right.
As he'll often do. So I sat there, turned it on. Keep in mind, I knew nothing about the movie other than what you had told me. I didn't Wikipedia it like I wanted to.
Right.
I was going to go into it blind. Now, what I did do is I watched the original theatrical trailer first.
Oh, good move.
Because I love that, especially from older movies like that. And I'll tell you, had I seen that movie, that trailer at a movie in 1986 or 85 leading into it, I would not have remembered it, and I probably would not have even cared about the movie.
Wow.
It just didn't, like, I'm kind of into it now, like it interested me now, but I know who I was back then and the kind of shit I was interested in. I would not have thought twice about it. So I'm not surprised I don't remember the movie.
See, and you obviously have a better knowledge of what you were like then than I was, but I always think of it's Star Wars Timm. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's a little bit of
Right.
sci-fi sprinkled in with some action, a little bit of story. And it's like, here's another one.
Right. And what's funny is there are other movies like that I ended up seeing anyway, like with somebody that I really dug, like I was really into it. So I may have watched it if I watched it back in the day and been totally into it. But just based on the trailer, I'm like, no, I probably wouldn't have cared, you know. So turned it on. And my first question I have for you, and this isn't a knock on the movie. Doesn't mean I didn't like it, and we'll get to if I liked it or not. I was about 15 minutes in, and I typed this. Ask Colby if this was a wide release movie or in limited release like a B movie. Because I'm not sure watching it. Like, was this a big national premiere, like a regular movie? Or was this like, you know how now they have movies that don't go into wide release? They're just shown at a few theaters and
Right.
like an indie movie?
This was not, it wasn't an indie movie. Okay. I don't think. It wasn't like Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2,
Right.
where like somebody had to tell you that this existed.
And it was playing at the Angelica.
Right.
All right.
No, this was pretty big time.
Because I couldn't really tell just by in the first like 10 to 15 minutes. So there are two things that happened like in the opening sequence. A huge negative for me, and then it made up for it immediately. The huge negative for me was that it had a bunch of Queen music in it.
Okay.
Not a Queen. I mean, I don't hate Queen, but just after hearing Freddie Mercury's voice for about 4 seconds, I'm kind of out.
Okay,
I get that he's genius. I get it. I just don't care for it.
See, that was a big in for me. That was like, oh, okay, cool.
And then like they even showed on the screen additional music by Queen. You know, I'm like, all right, I'm going to fight through it, I guess. And I don't remember hearing another Queen song the rest of the movie. I mean, I'm sure I did. I just was so into the movie that I didn't even notice it. So
You blocked it out.
I blocked it out. But the movie immediately redeemed itself in the opening sequence in the arena when the fabulous Freebirds were in the wrestling ring.
Of course they were.
Terry Gordy. Dude, I hadn't thought of the Freebirds like since watching the Von Erichs wrestle them down at the Sportatorium when I was like 10. I was like, holy crap, the Freebirds are in a movie?
Yes, they were in this one.
Wow. And then I immediately had Cinema Production Timm, which isn't a real thing. But since I've been doing this and doing stuff, with video, I know drones did not exist in 1986 or 85 when they were filming this. How in the hell did they film that opening sequence inside that arena, wherever it was, when literally it's like if you look at it now, you would say, oh, that's just a drone footage. When they go from ringside through the air around the arena, then they close up in on the dude, on the Highlander. I can't remember his name. What's his McLeod. Like all the way up, like in the second deck. Like, how did they film that? Like, in 1985, I have no clue.
Never
It boggled my mind.
Never even thought about it.
I mean, it's like a flawless, like right now, you would say, oh, that's just a drone. They didn't have drones then. Like, that bothered me the whole rest of the movie. I was thinking about that. Like, how did they film that?
Camera by wire, man.
I guess so. It was pretty badass. Yeah, but I even made a note here. Seems like a cross between Star Wars and the Terminator.
Pretty much.
Throw in a little bit of Monty Python.
Just a tad.
In the search of the Holy Grail. And it even mirrored Star Wars a little bit. Because Sean Connery's character, Ramirez, came back at the end of the movie as a Force ghost.
Of course he did.
And he was talking to McLeod. I'm like, he's Obi-Wan. Like, it sort of mimicked Star Wars a little bit.
It was a little bit of that.
I mean, as far as a piece of entertainment, 100%, I was in. I thought it was great. From a nostalgic standpoint, I guess. Not sure that it holds up. Does this hold up for everybody? Is it just so much that of a cult classic that even today, the special effects were clearly hokey. But it is what it is for the time period. I'm not knocking it for that.
Right.
That if you go back and watch the original Terminator now, those are pretty hokey special effects too. So it is what it is for the time period. I get it. But I feel like it was missing one element. And that was a hot chick. It needed a hot chick in it. That chick they had was not hot.
Okay.
It really needed a hot chick in it.
I can barely remember. It's been a while since I've seen.
But if she was hot, you'd remember.
I do remember being like, she all right. I remember that. Now this is young me that pretty much anything.
Yeah, you were like 9 when it came out.
Yeah, so I probably saw it was probably 10 or 11, somewhere around in there, where I finally got it was one of those times where your folks rent a hotel room and you end up with a TV of your own,
a babysitter,
and that kind of situation where you're like, oh, hey, I can watch HBO no matter what's on it. So I'm pretty sure that's my first introduction to Highlander, because I wanted to see it, but it was not wasn't rated okay for Colby's at the time to go see it.
Sure.
I remember seeing it then, and of course, like I said, at that point, just about any chick that they played the sexy music when they entered in.
Right.
It was then that's the good looking lady.
So I do need a bit of explanation from you. Because I sat there uninterrupted, no bathroom breaks, no pausing, no going to the kitchen for more drinks. I put a 6-pack of beer right next to me, so I didn't have to get up and refill.
Right.
I'm still not sure what the prize was at the end. What did he get for winning? other than a bunch of lightning going inside of his nostrils.
Okay, so
And it may have been explained earlier in the movie, and I didn't remember, or it bypassed me or something.
So at the end, what you're supposed to get is you're supposed to get all the power, and then you're left for the exact prize of that race, right?
Okay.
It didn't happen.
Oh.
Because
he was talking about being mortal now, though, right? He was talking, I can grow old with you and I can have kids with you now.
Right. The prize is you now can live a normal life. The prize is you have to fight through all that mess in order not to have to go through that crap anymore. The thing that you'll find out later is because there's a Highlander 2 and there's a Highlander 3 is that he wasn't the last one.
Really?
So
that's why okay. Well, see, now I'm going to watch the other ones.
You don't have to.
Oh, are they bad?
Highlander 2 is it's not terrible, but it wasn't like it was those times to where the sequel was just a money grab. Just a money grab. The third one was actually not bad.
So did these come out pretty close to the first one being released, or is this a situation where they waited like 10 years to wait for interest to build up again or something?
The second one was pretty close to the first one, but I know that the third one was a long time after that.
See, Highlander 2 came out, The Quickening.
Yes.
1991, right? So 5 years later.
Okay.
Highlander 3.
That's like 97.
Electric Boogaloo. Highlander 3, The Sorcerer.
Yes.
Came out in 1994. So just
really?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Just felt like so much farther away. I guess because it was a couple of years down the road that I saw the first Highlander, and then the second one came out, and it felt like it was really close to each other, and then it took a while. Also, that's like my formative growing up.
Right.
So those years feel like they lasted a whole lot longer in life. So yeah.
So all in all, thumbs up. Like, no question.
Right.
I would watch it again, and I'll probably make my kids watch it.
It was one of those things to where I was like, I can't believe you've never heard of it because of how many times it gets mentioned in pop culture. I can't go, I don't know, 3 or 4 months of my life without somebody mentioning There Can Be Only One.
And you know what? Maybe I've heard that. I don't remember. I wouldn't have known what it was referencing, so I just wouldn't have remembered it at all.
Yeah, true. But you're also the guy that's not afraid of asking a stupid question.
This is true.
So you'd have probably been like, what the hell's that from? You keep saying it. Shut up. Something along that line.
Why do you keep saying that?
Yeah, there can be only one.
Maybe I was just afraid that I would look stupid. Well, that's not true. I don't care about that.
No, I've seen your Facebook comments.
Yeah, exactly. Those are genuine, though.
I know.
Those aren't bits.
I know they're not bits. You know what? Let's bring that up a little bit. Because I love this, and I also go, what are you doing?
Like on the show.
Yes, because like Facebook, somebody will put up something along the lines of where they found their favorite band, or they're going to go watch this movie or something, and then you'll see a comment down below, and it'll be from Timm, and it'll be like, what's that? Or is that a thing? Or why would anybody do that? Without even
not that blatant.
Yes, they are.
No, but that's just disrespectful.
That's what you do.
I don't remember doing anything that bad. Unless I was drunk.
You're probably drunk the whole time you're doing it, but I'll just see it. Or somebody was talking about the World Cup, and you're like, but why would you watch that?
Oh yeah, that was on Sean's. Yes, I did. Yeah, right. I did do that.
Nothing else. Just asking everybody that's commenting that's interested in the World Cup. Why would you watch that?
Oh no! I know what it was. Some dude, I think, commented on a post that Sean made about, is it good that USA tied Wales? I still don't understand why America's playing fish in soccer. It doesn't make sense to me. Actually, whales are mammals.
Right.
But I think some dude commented like, for the next few weeks, I'm not going to get any work done because I'll be stuck watching World Cup soccer or whatever. And I think all I commented was gross. He might have replied. I don't know. I haven't been on Facebook that much. So.
Yeah. It's usually the Timm comment of, is that a thing or why?
Why would you do that?
Why?
Educate me. Why would someone do that?
No, it doesn't read like that. It reads like you're stupid for wanting to do whatever the fuck that is. That's
Well, they
what it
are.
reads like.
If I disagree with it, it's going to clearly be stupid.
You're
right?
idiot.
Is that the way the world works? Especially soccer. Come
There
on.
can be only one Timm.
There can be only one, Colby.
Mm.
Why can't there only be one World Cup and it was 100 years ago and we don't have to do it anymore?
You know what? I am fine, because if it gets close, I'll probably enjoy me some football too.
Well, we watch football every Sunday.
Some football.
Football. Soccer.
It's not soccer.
So it is soccer. This is America.
Yeah, but it's not playing in America. It's played in wait, it's not
Qatar.
It's Qatar.
I would love to go to Qatar someday. By the way, did you see what they did?
About the people in the rainbow shirts?
No, they took their beer away.
Right.
Like literally the day before.
Yeah, and you also can't. Oh my God. Speaking of that, and I don't have this in news and notes. Did you see about those London fellers that went to Qatar?
Yeah.
They ended up with the sheik and like petting a tiger or a lion and
Just
like
make a movie of that.
playing with. Yeah, no, it's called The Hangover.
It's called The Hangover
4.
4. I feel like that would be us.
Yes.
Try to go somewhere, show trip.
Except for, I can imagine if it was like you, me, and Lance, and like a sheik pulled up in his Land Rover and says, "Hey, would you like to come party with me?" I don't know why he was Italian.
Good day, mate.
and we're standing there, and Lance would go, "I ain't getting in that car with him."
Yeah, and me and you would go, "Bye, Lance."
Yeah.
And we'd be telling him, like, we don't really know him. We just saw him at the bar.
That's right.
Lance is on his own. He's not going to go with the shake. Sheik or shake? I've heard both. I've heard both. They're not the different, are they? They're the same thing.
I don't think I would call them a shake.
Because I don't want to drink it.
No.
A milkshake.
No. Well, it depends. How much money are they offering, Timm?
That's true. I'd drink something. I don't know where that came from.
Internets.
So yeah, my point of reference for the Sheik would be Cannonball Run.
Mm-hmm.
And was it Jamie Farr, the dude from MASH that played the Sheik? That was such a great movie.
It was a great movie.
Why don't they do movies like that anymore?
Only to be one-upped by Cannonball Run 2.
It was better. Like one of those rare occurrences where the sequel was better than the original.
Because it knew what it was. We're just a Bitmobile.
Just making fun of ourselves.
That's all. You know, and they've done stuff like that before.
Yeah.
It's just with stars that we didn't attach to. This was with, from Burt Reynolds to Jackie Chan running around that son of a bitch to Jaws is somewhere in there.
Jaws is in it?
Yeah. Like, okay, cool. And a Lamborghini that changes color that has chicks with bikinis in it.
Oh my God, dude, those chicks.
Mm-hmm. Because one of them was Daisy Duke.
And Jackie Chan's Super Subaru.
Yes.
The spaceship Subaru.
And nobody at the time was like, who's Jackie Chan?
Yeah, dude, he was nobody back
Right.
then. We need to review. I feel like we already did, though. We need to review Cannonball Run at some point.
You know what? We need to make a list of movies that you have to see in order to understand us.
That's true. We should do that.
And not the good movies. It's the movies that we're like, oh, hey, you know what? I really enjoyed this for no other particular reason other than I enjoyed it. Like
laughed.
Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
I've seen that, Colby.
It's amazing.
I've seen that.
It's amazing. The Uniboob girl.
All right. I'm all choked up on Cannonball. I'm going to go home and watch me some Cannonball Run, Colby. I might do that tonight if I don't go to a bar and get drunk.
Probably.
Might be too cold to go somewhere on my freaking motorcycle.
If you're drunk enough.
That's true. It just makes it warmer.
Mm-hmm.
And my local bars literally 0.2 miles from my house. So I could walk home if I had to.
The thing is, though, if you're at the point to where you probably shouldn't be riding your motorcycle, you probably shouldn't be walking.
At 2 a.m. across highways.
Pepsi bottle, a Coca-Cola glass.
I don't know what that was from.
I hate when that happens. All right, Colby, let's get into a little bit of Would You Rather.
All right, let's do it.
We haven't done this in a while.
So we're not going to miss Ed Hochuli anymore?
You know what? Let's watch Ed Hochuli first. Thanks for reminding me. And again, this is, most people pay tribute to people after they die, and that always bothered me. Like, why can't you pay tribute to them while they're alive so they can see it? Like they did John Madden. Like, wasn't that the perfect timing?
Right.
To pay tribute to John Madden. It was right before he died. But he got to see all of it and experience it and be part of it. I thought that was amazing for John and for all of us because we got to see him react to his own tribute, right? They should do that more often. So I found this. I stumbled across this. I was actually looking for something else Ed Hochuli related that's going to be a segment on the show at a later date. Kind of a documentary that I found out about that is about bodybuilder referees in sports around the world.
There's a documentary about this?
Yes.
Oh, God.
And so I ran across this short little video, and I thought it was really funny and appropriate. So let's enjoy it right now, shall we?
When a ref is doing his job right, he mostly goes unnoticed. But it's hard to miss Ed Hochuli.
Hey, Hochuli got them guns. Yeah, I might be looking better than mine. I'm going to get the both legs. Yeah.
I want to be Ed Hochuli.
20 minutes a day, 3 days a week. Have a body like Hochuli.
The referee with a barrel chest, chiseled jaw, and Burmese pythons for arms.
Boy, big, huh?
No lion would hunt this zebra, the strongest official in the world.
Ed Hercules. He looks pretty big.
I want to be Ed Hochuli. An attorney by trade, he seeks justice on the football field.
We're getting a little rowdy, gentlemen. Let's keep it clean.
When he throws a flag, you see it. When he blows a whistle, you feel it. He once needed 91 words to explain an illegal motion infraction. Some think that's long-winded. I call it jurisprudence. I want to be Ed Hochuli. An Adonis in vertical stripes. His friends call him Guns. The players call him Sir.
Hey, Punk Daddy, nice job. Yeah.
His uniform number is 85, like the 85 Bears. Fitting, because he's just as bad.
Oh, he's a monster.
I want to be Ed Hochuli. Are those biceps or titanium floaties?
Ed's arms are looking like better than all of ours.
Don't ask. You'll just make him mad. All hail Ed Hochuli, a 59-year-old tour de force, the strongest official in the world.
So there it is.
That's amazing.
By the way, he is 70 now. So that was 11 years or so ago.
Right.
His kid now is a referee, like one of the bigger referees. And I don't mean bigger although he works out too, but one of the main referees. You'll see him like, I can't remember what his name is.
It's just, isn't it? I thought it was Ed Hochuli Jr. Is it
I
not?
don't think he's an Ed Jr. I'd have to look it up. But so, yeah, his kids out there, you still hear the word Hochuli. And what's funny is my fantasy football team name for years, going back to the probably like around the time this was made, was called the Guns of Hochuli.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a name that I found online and I used that I came up with off my brain and I used a lot.
You should have went with the truth first.
But I have a personal connection to Ed Hochuli.
Because he's your cousin?
Sort of. I'm a sort of personal connection. So
okay,
my most recent ex, Lauren, who have met, her grandfather was an Arizona high school basketball coach. He won a state title in the late 70s, and he's in the Arizona Sports Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Was inducted and was very good friends for years with Lute Olson. You remember that name? Arizona college, longtime basketball coach.
Right.
He, at the high school that he coached at, he also taught there. Ed Hochuli and his brother were students and played on his basketball team. And apparently were pretty big potheads back in the day.
Of course.
But they were good at basketball. So he was one of these guys, iron fist, my way or the highway. I don't care how good you are. You don't play by the rules, you're gone. You're off the team. And back then you couldn't really change schools, He kicked Ed Hochuli and his brother off the team 17 times for smoking weed over the course of like 3 years. Of course, he'd always let them back on because they were good.
Right.
And they were on, I think, one of those state title teams that he coached. But I only met him, Lauren's grandfather, a couple of times before he died when we'd first gotten together. And his name's John Wayne Tissaw. I mean, so, toughness, dude. He was also a Grand Canyon tour guide for a long time.
Because of course he was.
I mean, this dude was just a badass, man. And, by the time I met him, he was already old and frail, but I'd seen pictures and heard all the stories, and he was just a badass. But it was funny hearing him tell me those stories about Ed Hochuli and his brother. And he was like, they're shit. He never liked him. He goes, but they could play. That's pretty funny.
You think they'd get better at smoking pot, though?
Like hiding it.
Yeah.
I mean, in the 70s, nobody tried to hide it, really, right?
No.
Except
Except for if you got the first 5 times you got kicked off the basketball team, I think I'd have been like, we got to get better.
Yes.
Somehow we can't keep getting busted for smoking this pot.
I always want to know, I want to know how you caught him every time. Like, were they just done? I never did ask him that, though, but I would have loved to hear that story.
Or they're just like, man, screw you, old man, and your rules. I'm going to smoke this marijuana right here in the locker room.
Right on the court.
Yeah.
They're passing the doobie around the court, playing offense.
Nobody can smell it.
Pass me the rock. I mean, the ball.
Can you smell it, old man?
Lauren's going to kick my ass for telling this on the air.
The weed.
Colby, let's play some Would You Rather.
Okay.
A Would You Rather sex edition. Because why not?
Okay.
Because that's the first list that came up when I searched for it 5 minutes ago. So, Colby, these are 100 dirty Would You Rather questions, and we're not going over 100. This is courtesy of Men's Health, by the way.
Oh, hey.
It's not even Pornhub.
So you were on a different site than what you normally are.
I couldn't find if I looked up Would You Rather in the search bar in Pornhub, it gave me some frightening things I didn't want to talk about on the air.
Right.
I mean, I'll look them up again at home.
Right.
I don't want to do it on the air, though.
The title screen has a donkey and a clown.
Hey, how did you know about that?
I'm guessing.
Remind me someday to tell you about the glory hole that I broke the dude's finger off at Wranglers in the Colony before it shut down way back in the day.
Yeah, you're going to have to give me time to just wrap my mind around the fact that those all things involved in the same story, okay?
When I was 17.
Yeah.
By the way, snuck into it. Anyway, we'll talk about that another night. It's a good story, though. Some poor guy's got a misshaped finger because of me. So, Colby.
His penis. All right, go ahead.
I thought that's what it was at the time.
You were going to twist his penis?
I was trying to break it. He was saying vulgar things to me from the other side of the wall and stuck something through the hole, and I didn't know what it was. I was like, I'm going to break that off, dude. I'm not who you think I am.
Hurry up with the Would You Rather, or we're going to get into this story. I'm not ready for it.
I'm not either. I gotta recollect. Oh, my God. Colby, would you rather orgasm every single time you enter a grocery store or never orgasm again?
Oh, it's got to be the grocery store.
Got to be the store, right?
Yeah, if you can't ever, of course it'd be fun. It's just like, you know what? I think I want to go to Kroger.
Would you take every date to Kroger? Hey, baby, let's go to Kroger for a minute or 2 minutes.
Can you? No, wait. No, I think at that point, if it's never except for when you're entering into a grocery store, you just pretty much just walking into random grocery stores every once in a while when you're feeling randy.
Randy who?
Me.
Oh, you're one of those. Good day, mate. Colby, would you rather?
I had to buy rubber pants, though, if I kept going into grocery stores. Go ahead.
Would you rather accidentally send a sext to your mom or send a nude to your ex? I mean, that's an easy one, right? It doesn't specify which ex.
Yeah, see.
I feel like I do the other one kind of voluntarily sometimes.
See, all right, so cringy is both of these, but one of them's super cringy.
The mom thing?
Yeah, you can't block your mom,
No.
like from calling or talking to you back.
No.
But you could just block and never have any more contact after you accidentally fired off the nude pic to them.
So, I've told the story several times about how I've accidentally sent certain pics of my anatomy to the wrong people.
Right.
Including posting it on Facebook at one point. It seems to be everyone's favorite story.
Uh-huh.
What's up, Ecomania? Let's go, Krog or Oring. Yeah, we know. That's my former roommate right there, Mr. Jamie Eccles. So Lauren, since she's already come up on the show once, was also guilty of that at one point. Sending a picture of her up tops.
Uh-huh.
Thought she was sending it to me.
Uh-huh.
Her aunt's name is Tony. She sent a boob pic to her aunt.
At least it wasn't the uncle, right?
And she came running out of the bathroom like I often did. Oh my God, guess what I just did? Because you can't unsend it.
Right. Oh, you can delete it on your end, but it's not getting deleted on theirs.
And it was one of those deals where it was sending really slow and you can see the status bar going across the top of the phone. By the time she got to the table, it was still going at the bar we were at.
Oh.
She's like, I can't do anything. I'm like, call her and tell her not to open it.
Right.
She's like, no, I don't want to draw attention to it.
She's going to get a text and open it.
So it's funny. Now her mom or her aunt didn't have an iPhone, so you don't know if it's been read or not. But the next time she came over, to her aunt's credit, walks in the house, looks at Lauren. Oh, sorry, I didn't recognize you with your top on. Like, that's the best way to handle that, right?
Yes.
Like, don't address it. Just let her sweat.
Right.
So I'm not the only one, Colby. This happens to other people. Colby, would you rather get sexually aroused anytime your boss calls?
Okay.
Or get sexually aroused anytime you're on the computer? Doesn't matter what you're doing on the computer.
It doesn't matter what you're doing on the computer. It's just on the... All right.
Like right now, you would be aroused.
Right.
I mean, as I am.
I think it would have to be the computer. And mainly because I don't want my boss's voice to be the sender of good vibes to my crotch.
That would be rough. I assume you have a male boss?
Yes.
Yeah. Do I have a boss? Who's my boss? Are you my boss?
I think we're all each other's bosses.
I think we are. Yeah, then I don't want that one.
So you pick up the phone. Hey, bud. Damn it, stop calling me.
Dang it. Colby, would you rather have the best sex of your life for one night or mediocre sex every day for the rest of your life?
Oh, I'll take mediocre
Yeah, me
sex
too.
every day.
I mean, that's a no-brainer. Even mediocre sex is still sex.
Right.
I mean, I feel like I've built my life around mediocre sex.
I mean, in your shoes, you have to.
At least offering it,
Right.
Colby, would you rather spend the next 2 weeks in a cock cage?
In a what?
I'm not even reading that one. I should have pre-read some of these, though. Colby, would you rather orgasm 150 times a day or never have an orgasm again? I mean, I feel like I 10% of that already.
150 times a day.
Every day. You have 150 orgasms. God, how worn out would you be?
Yeah, you know what? On this one, I think I'm going with the just not. That's just too many. Because I think by the time you got through like 2 weeks, especially if you got a little older in age, you would just die.
I just read ahead to the next question.
All right.
Wait, I have to preface the next question with this, Colby. Maybe not. I don't even care anymore.
Okay.
I don't think I have it anymore. Colby, Would you rather poop on your partner's dick every single time you have anal?
What?
Or every time you jizz, it's bright green?
Of course, the bright green.
It's Christmas.
There's nothing wrong with me. It's just it's a party trick.
You're gonna go to a party? Hey, make me come. It's funny.
Yes. It's a great opening line. You, come here.
Hey, watch this. Hey, y'all, watch this. The greatest redneck party trick ever.
Hold on, this takes a minute. Everybody's
God.
staring at me. I can't make it fire automatically.
So the last one here, Colby. I've actually done this one before. I've done both of these things, so I can relate.
Okay.
Would you rather sleep with someone you think is disgusting, but the sex is off the charts?
All right.
Or sleep with the hottest person you can think of, but the sex is terrible?
I'd rather have the off the chart sex
with someone that's disgusting, right? Yeah, I've been there.
I mean, if you're telling me though, like at the end of it, you're like, oh my God, that was amazing.
I mean, because you don't have to tell anybody.
Well, and I'm not worried about it. If I'm having amazing sex, that means I'm having a good time.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
You don't care what everybody thinks.
So.
Huh. Yeah, we got like 90 more of those that we should revisit at some point. But it's not going to be today. Because it's time for something that has some significance.
Like anybody could ever know that.
It's America's favorite segment on our show.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, me. Thank you, you, for making us sound good. News and Notes is where I search the World Wide Web for the weird.
Internets.
By God, I found it. So let's go to Los Angeles. And the reason why we're going there
Good day, mate.
is because a 21-year-old, actually this is in San Diego. Sorry, I got my
I believe that means a whale's vagina.
Right. So a 21-year-old hot dog vendor was arrested for stabbing a person after an alleged turf war between out-of-town vendors set up around Petco Park late Saturday night. So here's what happened. Petco Park, they're starting to set up their hot dog stands, to sell hot dogs. And your local man there saw all these other guys coming in, and they're all representing San Francisco. Bastards.
It usually is.
So he's like, all right, you know what? I got to take one out just to make sure they know not to step on my turf. Over hot dog cart space, he stabbed a dude 3 times.
Over a hot dog space.
Yes. So the reports of a large brawl involving 10 to 15 people. So 10 to 15 hot dog vendors get into a large brawl, and this guy's like, no, you's getting stabbed. I knew hot dog vending was cutthroat, but Jesus.
Colby, what's the best hot dog you've ever had?
The best hot dog I've ever had was my first time having, oh, good God. Norm Hitchcock used to talk about these all the time with the natural casing on the outside, and they'd snap, and you could go buy them at a grocery store.
Not the Nathans.
No, not the Nathans.
Yeah, I know which ones you're talking about.
I forgot the name of them, but I got them and put them on the grill and then made Chicago dogs because besides the chili dog, that's probably my favorite.
Yep.
And when I bit into it, it was such a different experience that I was like, oh, wow.
Did it squirt in your mouth?
It snapped. It was the snap.
Yep.
It was like just coming right off
I
of there.
know. I've been there. I've had things snap off in my mouth too.
So that's probably my best.
Everyone's got to have a good hot dog story.
So, I mean, I love a good hot dog. Don't get me wrong.
Me too.
But that was the best situation for that. Let's go from there to the Twin Cities. As Jesus. Okay, so according to St. Paul police, the 23-year-old man was driving south on Highway 61 at around 9 p.m. when he got involved in a road rage type incident with a silver SUV. Police say shots were fired at the 23-year-old's vehicle when he was struck twice. The victim abandoned his car on the highway and was picked up by a family member who drove him to Regents Hospital. In the statement to Bring Me the News on Sunday, the police said the 23-year-old was expected to be released from the hospital. The driver from the suspected vehicle kept driving along Highway 61. No arrests have been announced, but started out as just a little road rage incident. And then
There's never such a thing as a little road rage incident.
Yeah, there is, where you just get out and yell at the person, they
Flip
yell
them
back,
off.
and then both of you get in your cars and you drive off, and you're like, that fucker, and that guy's like, that fucker. Not starts firing, and then cops have to shoot at you because you're shooting at them kind of shit.
It happens.
Yeah, I just didn't know it happened in Minnesota.
Land of 1,000 lakes, Colby.
Right. And the most Canadian people in America.
Yes, that's actually true.
So,
or the Michigonians that live on the UP.
So we're going to Indianapolis, where okay, this is dumb.
Can't wait for this.
This is dumb. So what happened was
What happened was
is that all right, there's a guy and he just won a good amount of money, right? Got him a good amount of money, won it in the lotto scratch off. Man,
what's a good amount of money?
You were talking about $300,000.
It's a good amount of money.
And what you don't do at that exact instance when you scratch off a lotto ticket and win $300,000 is you don't end up on the internet, admit to some stranger in a chat room that you just won $300,000.
Oh, somebody was horny.
And that person in the chat room then says, hey, you want to go meet at a hotel?
Well, of course they do.
And you end up at the Esquire Motel.
Sounds legit.
And as you get there, you're shocked, absolutely shocked at the fact that this guy has a gun and is going to try and rob you.
Wow.
Which he then also got shot twice. He survived.
Oh, my God.
But most of his winnings is gone, and they're now looking for this guy on the loose. Just letting you know, if you ever do win money,
don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody, especially strangers
strangers.
on the internet. I mean, don't tell friends on the internet, right? Because they may want to meet you at a hotel room.
Hey, I know I haven't seen you since high school, but hey, you want to get together for a beer in this really dark alley? I'll bring the beer. You bring your money.
That's right. I'm not trying to take it from you. I've just never seen that much money before.
I just want to see it. Let me see it. No, I don't want a picture. I just want to see it. I want to feel it.
That's right.
I want to feel of it.
In my hands as I'm walking away from your dead body with your money.
I never liked you in high school anyway.
I found a headline, Tim.
Oh.
I found a headline that I don't know what's happening with this headline. Actually, I didn't even read the fucking story.
All right, Jeff.
But former Jet2 worker and partner ran a legal black market baby scan clinic in lockdown. I don't know what it
What do those words mean when put together?
I don't know what that means.
Can you read that again?
Former Jet2 worker and partner ran illegal black market baby scan clinic in lockdown.
God, somebody doesn't know how to write headlines. I'm just telling you. Somebody who has to write headlines.
Right.
Huh. So many extra words in there.
Terry Horton, 30, and David Jones, 35, have been convicted of running an illegal baby scan clinic during the pandemic, which put mothers-to-be and parents at horrendous risk.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically what they did is they would scan your children.
Were they born with barcodes?
So they would charge parents to be up to $30 a time for scan pictures. So I'm guessing mothers, pregnant people would come in and they'd like scan to see what the baby looks like because you couldn't going to hospitals during the pandemics, like the baby scan.
Yeah.
So
I had open heart surgery during the pandemic.
Right. Which
I lived.
I guess the only real thing that besides not having, not being doctors or anything along that lines but charging people for the scan of their babies was it's during the pandemic and you probably don't know anything about anything, but here, pregnant moms, come get the COVID.
Wow.
Type of situation. So, by the way, they openly advertised their service on social media. That's how they got busted. Somebody went back and said, "Oh, hey, look at this. Hey, mom. Hey, dad. I'm going to jail."
Huh.
Going to Tampa Bay, Florida, as detectives are looking for a man who burglarized a KFC in Tampa.
I think they call it the verb is burgled.
Burgled?
I think it's burgled.
Well, they said burglarized.
All right, they don't know anything.
But he burgled a KFC. But the detectives in the article made sure to say that the secret recipe remains safe.
They just had to point that out, right?
Yes.
All right. Prove it.
So they're looking for a black male in his late 20s, early 30s, and between 5'9" and 5'11", seen wearing a black and white gray plaid hooded jacket. Hooky jacket?
That'll narrow it down.
Black jeans with tears and black and white sneakers. Good luck.
Should stand out in a crowd, right?
Good luck.
Good day, mate.
So if you have any information on the most generic looking person out there
that burgled,
but didn't get away with the 11 herbs and spices.
If you see a new restaurant chain pop up and they claim to be equal to KFC, you might start there.
Right. Especially if it's owned with a man that's wearing a black and white hoodie with black and white sneakers and got jeans with tears in it. Oh, yeah.
You think he'd be wearing the same thing to work every day that he wore when he burgled?
I mean, maybe.
Very cartoonish of him.
Because he's somewhere between 5'9" and 5'11".
And like 30 years old, right?
And 20 to 30 years old. So you got a 10-year gap and about, 2 inches height gap in between.
All right. They'll find him.
Yeah.
I have faith.
Right. Wearing all neutral colors.
Like everyone else. And one of them's a hoodie.
Yeah. It's a hoodie.
All right.
Good luck finding him. And finally, let's go to Polk County, Florida, where a 30-year-old Lakeland man.
Wait, why are we going to Florida?
Because Florida's America's wine.
There it is.
Faces multiple charges after he attempted to set a house on fire in Lakeland. Then led deputies on a chase that made its way onto Interstate 4, closing parts of the highway, by the way. But so deputies responded to a 911 call at about 8:11 a.m. So this is happening in the morning. When it's 8 o'clock in the morning and you're thinking about setting somebody's house on fire, they've done something to you. He had a Molotov cocktail, or a quote Molotov cocktail,
right?
And as an incendiary weapon, and he was at a residence. When deputies arrived at the residence, he witnessed a man later identified as 30-year-old Luke Neely getting into an older model Chevrolet pickup truck, and he left the scene. So the deputy attempted a traffic stop, but Neely he didn't want to pull over, and he kept driving south down the highway. Sheriff Judd, because of course it is, said that the deputy that attempted a precision immobilization technique or a pit maneuver.
Yep, there it is.
On the truck, but
never worked.
Was not successful. And Neely proceeded to drive onto westbound Interstate 4. Deputies said that they were able to block and end the pursuit in the area of the westbound on-ramp of Interstate 4 from Branch Forbes Road after ramming the truck. Sheriff Judd said that Neely exited the truck carrying an AR-15 because, if you have a Molotov cocktail and you're in Florida, you probably have an AR-15.
Yep.
That was fully loaded and also had a fully loaded handgun on its hip. So the deputy said they engaged Neely, fired at him, and incapacitated him. When asked for further questions on how incapacitated was he, they said that they fired shots at Neely, hitting him multiple times. Judd said that Neely was shot twice in the right leg and once in the left leg and once in the groin. And then he said, quote, "We've changed the looks of his groin forever."
Wow.
If you know what I mean. Like what he said was code. If you know what I mean. We changed the looks of his groin forever, if you know what I mean.
It was just rude.
It's also, what else would you mean?
Yeah. Is that a code?
Yes. You basically made his plumbing different.
You're making me question that I did know what you mean. By saying, do you know what I mean? Like I thought I did, but now I'm wondering.
I'm wondering if this was, hey, but we didn't kill him.
I'm sure he'd rather be dead.
I'm sure so too. Instead of a shot to the dick. Like
when
the
that
ones
happens.
in the legs, okay, yeah. But you get shot right in the groin, penis. Oh my God. The mangled.
With what kind of gun?
It's cop guns.
Like probably a 9mm.
Yeah.
Ow, because that'll do damage, but yeah, you won't like die or anything.
Bet you wish you had.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably better for those.
Somebody turned his penis into a bowl of menudo.
I hate when that happens.
So there you go. So, by the way, the gunshot wounds that were non-life-threatening, according to the release, even though, again, we've changed the looks of his groin forever.
Wow.
He was smiling when he said that.
Big
too,
time.
right?
Big time.
So there you go. And that's news and notes, everybody.
There he is, Mr. Colby, Sapp.
Coffee's cold.
Well, I didn't turn it off.
No,
it's been sitting in your cup too long, hadn't it?
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of the coffee, let's get a shot there of the coffee cam as we try to figure out if Colby drank all the coffee.
Uh-oh. I mean, there's like a half a cup left.
We do have a coffee cam in case everyone's wondering how much coffee is left. Yes, I'm drinking beer and vodka.
Mm-hmm.
Colby's drinking coffee. We are the Coffee Sports Podcast.
That's right.
Actually, we're whatever we want.
Yeah. We'll soon be the
we gonna do the name change?
The late night ham and cheese, right?
Right. With the middle name of Frank.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we're thinking about changing the name of the show, guys. Let me know what y'all think. The late night ham and cheese we've sort of tossed around. We thought that would be suitable for radio airwaves.
And also just here.
And then more appropriate for here. But we want to know what you think. We'll put a post on social media and we'll let y'all vote on the name change. I will probably do it either way, but at least we'll let you vote on it.
Right.
Let us know what you think and if you hate it or like it. We are the Drunk Sports Podcast still currently tonight. I am IndyCar Timm. That is Colby Sapp. Find us on social media at Drunk Sports DFW. He is at Colby Sapp with 2 P's. I am at IndyCar Timm with 1 M. I feel like I need to clarify that, but kind of wanted to.
Right.
We are here every Monday and Wednesday. Probably will not have a show Wednesday night due to the Thanksgiving holidays and Colby's work schedule. We will still have our NFL picks against the spread. I'll probably do a video. I'll get them from everybody, and I'll do a quick video on that and post it so that it's still on record as we go through the week and through the rest of the season. If we do not see you on Wednesday, go Cowboys on Thursday.
Damn right.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. Please enjoy all of the football that you have. I think we've got Bills, Cowboys, and Patriots. The 3 games throughout the Thanksgiving day. And then we will be back on Monday with another Drunk Sports Podcast, hopefully with a +1 here with us. I don't know who it's going to be yet. We'll try to have a +1 with us, and we will recap Cowboys, Vikings, or Cowboys, Giants, and do some other stuff. We'll have more fun for you as well.
Right.
But happy Thanksgiving to you if we don't see you Wednesday. Have fun with the families. Not too much fun. Don't eat too much. And I want to know how much pumpkin pie everybody ate.
Oh, there's gonna be pie, but man, it's Thanksgiving, so Colby's gonna be having. I might have a chocolate pie all to myself.
Chocolate pie.
Oh, it's amazing. Oh, and I'd like to give a personal shout out to YouTube. Fuck you.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. I want to get into it tonight because I'm too angry.
I just wanted to give that right
Yeah,
there.
fuck you, YouTube. We love you. We are the Drunk Sports Podcast. I'm Colby. I'm Colby. I'm Colby. He's Tim. Until next time, we'll see you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Drunk Sports Podcast. Until next time, get drunk.
This is the funnest night ever. We're all drunk.
God damn it, Griggs.
Shut up, Tim. We're not talking about my mother.
That's fine.